Boyfriend said I'm too loose, 18F, 18M. So I, 18F, and my boyfriend, 18M, have been together a few months and we just had sex for the first time. Mind you, both of us were virgins, never been with anyone before. He finished, twice after we had sex he finished, and he wouldn't stop talking the next few days about doing it again. We went out today and had so much fun and we were laughing the entire time. He was all over me, kissing me like normal. Then later in the night he texted me and said he didn't want to have sex again because he didn't feel anything and I was too loose. I don't understand why he switched up and I'm scared this is the end. Does anyone have any advice on the situation or know what could have caused this reaction from him? First off, that's a shitty thing to say, even worse over text. If you have any self-respect you dump him over this BS. Tell him to go work on his death grip issue. He was a virgin before and literally had no frame of reference before you as to what a real vagina feels like, so not sure what he's basing his too loose statement off of. Either way, he's a jerk and you should break up with him. Don't ever let someone talk to you that way and still have access to your body or your heart. You shouldn't be scared that this is the end. You should be angry about his disrespectful comments and that the end can't come soon enough. Do not tolerate someone saying hurtful things to you. Guy here. That is such a dumb online rumor that guys, I myself have been victim of, fall for. That's not a thing really and he likely has been watching online porn thinking that's how it works. Likely he has death grip, Google it. Basically he pleasures himself so much and grips himself a bit too tight that he has desensitized himself because no woman's vagina will ever grip him that tight as his hand does. People are giving you advice on how to communicate and that's great if you want to go that way, but this is a guy that thinks it's appropriate to tell anyone, let alone his supposed partner, that he wants no further physical intimacy because, to put it kindly, her body isn't good enough for him. And, like, that dude should be single. That's not someone that knows the first thing about respect and kindness. Why the fuck would you want to stick it out with someone that keeps you in such low regard? I, M39, discovered my wife, F36, cheated on me while I was away. Advice on how to proceed. I'm aware advice will naturally skew negative here, and I have a sense of what I should do but value all opinions. Over a month ago my wife and I were out socializing with friends. After returning home my wife drunkenly left her phone unlocked and messages on screen. I saw a text message sent by her that very night to another man saying, "I can't wait to F you." Naturally I panicked and challenged her thinking she was preparing to cheat on me. Looking at the messages I scrolled up only to discover messages from 2 weeks prior when I had been away on business. There she asked him had he found jewelry she lost, which he said he found in his bed. They exchange messages saying she can get it back the next time they see each other. This is where I felt sick, as when I was away she was messaging me saying how upset she was she had lost jewelry I bought her, while at the same time she was texting a man she slept with to find it. After challenging her on this, she had to confess and said it was a one-time thing. He made a move and she didn't stop it, that she has been feeling particularly low and can't explain why she did it but regrets it, loves me and wants to make us work. What is troubling me is the following aggravating factors. 1. The betrayal. Our own intimacy has reduced a lot and we went months without, despite me making efforts, and yet she sleeps with someone else. 2. The deceit. I only found out from seeing her messages left open, she would not have confessed. 3. Circumstances. This was a friend of hers she infrequently sees, but someone she slept with over 12 years ago but I never knew this. And doing so again maybe made her feel young and better. Next, she wasn't drunk. She met him during the day, while texting me saying she was in work so clearly was hiding meeting him. 4. Intention to see him again. She said she couldn't remember the blackout drunk texting him that night I saw it. She was. But I said that doesn't excuse it and doesn't explain sober texts previously. How do I trust she wouldn't have done it again if I had not found out? Other factors upsetting me. Long-standing issues which have somewhat been let go silent. Sexual intimacy became every few months. I asked honestly if this is an issue with me, and she swears it's not, but hard to believe. I pay for everything, house is paid for, she pays no bills, I cover expensive holidays, luxury goods, even loans I've given she has not paid back. There's a lack of vulnerability and talking about important life decisions, family, retirement plans etc. I've asked her to move out while we work through this as I can't do it while she's in-house. I offered for us to go to counseling and open-ended to see if it can save us. I don't know if she would have done so if roles were reversed. We have done 4 sessions but I'm not seeing much progress and she says I'm holding too high a standard. In the meantime she visits the house, we've 3 cats and 1 dog she visits. And we have not told any friends as I am trying to give us time and so no one judges. But she is persisting asking to move back in saying she can't do this and why can't we work on it while living together and it feels like it's an ultimatum. Particularly when I feel my concerns on trust haven't been addressed. It hurts seeing her hurting. I do believe she regrets it, now after being found out, but can't help feel I'm having to be the one to solve it and she's not prepared to do what's necessary and respecting what I need. Thoughts on how I should proceed? You proceed to divorce. She cheated and was planning to continue, and probably has done much more than you know. Don't believe a word she says. She's now trying to minimize everything, she's working on her story. She's also trying to gaslight you into thinking it wasn't that bad. The fact that she didn't confess to the cheating, and her willingness to do it again, should tell you everything you need to know. I'm holding too high a standard. What? Don't fuck other people and make excuses or lie about it. You monster. How could you possibly expect her to do such an impossible thing? You're right that Reddit isn't particularly sympathetic to cheaters in general, but it's hard to be sympathetic when your wife is giving all the signs of someone who's just sorry they got caught and there are consequences. I think deep down, you know what needs to be done. Toddlers don't like timeout either. Don't assume because she's an adult it's any different. She is still lying and trickle-truthing you. It wasn't a one-time thing. She isn't sleeping with you because she is loyal to her actual boyfriend. You may be your husband, but she has mentally demoted you to the side piece. I am sorry. If there had been genuine confession and contrition on her part, maybe you could have salvaged this. As it is, get a lawyer and hit the gym. She doesn't regret the dicking down she got. She was anxious for more, and probably had more than one session with the man. It sounds like she does not regret how this affects you. What kind of person has no remorse for this kind of harm inflicted on someone they claim to love? What she does regret is the social stigma that will hit her when your friend group finds out she's a cheater. She doesn't regret what she's done to you. She regrets what might happen to her. That tells you all you need to know about how redeemable this marriage is. How do I, 28 female, break up with boyfriend, 28 male, who's been financially dependent on me? I currently share an apartment with my boyfriend of nearly 4 years. We met in my home state, but moved cross-country to his home state about 2.5 years ago. Our move was entirely pushed for by him and his family. His family applied tons of pressure to get him to move closer. They're extremely manipulative, abusive, and, quite frankly, sociopathic. Unfortunately, I didn't know the full extent before our move. They had stolen $5,000 from him about 2 years before to use as leverage to control him. And so when they were pressuring us to move, they promised to give him back his $5,000 to help with the expenses of moving, and to help with a security deposit on an apartment. That never happened. They also promised to let us have one of their cars, since they have 5 and one literally hadn't been touched in 4 years and wasn't needed. These people are obscenely wealthy, by the way. That also didn't end up happening. Instead, they wanted us to pay for repairs on this junker car, and pay them for insurance coverage, but wouldn't sign it over to us and let us have ownership of it. Additionally, my boyfriend was pressuring me to go along with this move because he complained that he missed his friends and family. He would routinely stay up half the night gaming with his friends, and then not get up in the morning for work. His excuse was that he had no friends where we lived. He was fired for non-attendance a few months before we moved, and I took a second job to make ends meet. He had promised that this move would be a chance for us to both be able to afford to go back to school, since it's a lower cost of living area. The move was a mess. My boyfriend got the dates wrong for our flight, and we had to scramble last minute to catch it. I ended up losing so much in that move because our timeline was screwed up and we didn't have time to pack. I lost sentimental items that I will never be able to replace, and also had to spend $500 to fix his mistake. Our entire 2.5 years of living here has been a disaster. I hate living in this state. The weather literally makes me ill. It's ugly and run down here, with nothing to do and no infrastructure. We used to live in a beautiful city with tons of nature and reliable public transport. Since we don't have a car here, going anywhere or doing anything ranges from completely impossible to nightmarish. And the people here are aggressive and rude. Also, between the lack of transportation and the lack of economy here in general, finding work has been harder here than anywhere I've ever lived. His family are genuine monsters, and they have brought me to the point of suicidal ideation and the edge of a nervous breakdown. I don't want them in my life in any capacity at all. I never want contact with them again. He has refused to set boundaries with them and continues to allow them to play mind games with us and interfere with our lives. My boyfriend very quickly flunked out of college after we moved here. And I had to work full-time and do classes full-time because we never got the money his family promised us, and my boyfriend can't hold down a job. He still stays up half the night playing games. His friends here are losers and assholes who do nothing except get high and play video games. He spent most of our time here not contributing financially. I, again, had to take a second job, off and on, to make ends meet for us. I scraped and saved, while we were living with his monstrous family, to get the money to get us an apartment. I bought literally everything in this apartment. He has contributed nothing. He spent the last 8 months not working and just went back to work a few weeks ago. He barely cleans, doesn't cook. I recently got a better job that I love, and I want to get certified in this career so that I can have the same job back in my home state. I tried to go back to school for this, but it's a very intense program. My boyfriend had promised to take care of the household responsibilities so that I could focus on school and my full-time job, since he was unemployed at the time. But he never delivered on his promise. I was still left to manage everything, and I struggled so much with my classes that I had to take a leave of absence. Now my dad has offered for us to come home and stay with him while I work part-time and finish my classes. It's a great offer and I want to take it. But I don't want my boyfriend to come with me. He's a sweet guy, and I have seen him make efforts when it comes to the emotional aspects of our relationship, but I just want to be done. He has brought so much drama and financial hardship into my life. I want my peace back. I just don't know how to break up with him. My plan is to get a moving truck and drive back cross-country, since I don't want to start all over again after investing in so many household items. I'm currently working on saving for the truck. But if I do that, he will have literally nothing in the apartment except his desk, dresser, computer, and Xbox. Everything else I bought or brought with me when we moved in together. I'm also just struggling, emotionally, with the idea of basically abandoning him here. I know his family won't help him and his friends can't afford to help him. He currently works in fast food because there's no other work here that he's qualified for, or that he can get to on the crappy bus system we have. If I brought him with me, he would probably have a lot of great employment opportunities. I honestly just don't know if he would actually step up and pursue them though. He has very little ambition, motivation, or self-confidence. He makes excuses that it's hard to have motivation in our current living environment, and I agree. But I also didn't let that stop me from making things work, and I don't know why he can't do the same. I worry that there will always be another excuse for him to not work hard and be successful. He does currently make enough to cover rent, so it's not like he would be homeless. But I know I would be leaving him in a bad situation. I guess I'm looking for advice on how to break it off with him in a way that will leave him in the best position possible. If you are coming here to ask, you know the answer. He is a man-child who will never get better. His family is toxic, he's toxic, it's all toxic. Leave. Go back home. The weather literally makes you ill. Make sure you take any important stuff and pack it. Make an exit plan slowly. Then when he's gone, pack your car and GTFO. Make sure there are no bank accounts he has access to. This is only ever gonna get worse for you if you don't leave. You are clearly a kind and empathetic person, and I can absolutely understand why you want to find a way to ease the situation for him. However, your soon-to-be ex is a grown man who has done nothing but leech off of you for years. You owe him nothing. The situation you're leaving him in is entirely his doing. He wanted to move home. He let his family treat you like crap. He was a lazy bum who chose video games over employment. He is the one who is refusing to act and live like an adult. So, my only advice is to move away as soon as possible and find a guy who actually deserves you, your empathy, heart, hands, light skin tone. He is a grown man and he will figure out how to take care of himself. You are not his mother. He needs this big life lesson so he can finally grow up. As for the breakup, when you get the truck, tell him that you are not happy living here and that you are moving home with your dad so you can pursue your studies and dream job. This is something you had to do on your own. If he wants to come, make your dad the bad guy and say dad's offer was only for me. As a parent, I have no problem being the bad guy when needed. This isn't working. I've decided to move back home by myself. It's that simple. Not a debate. A statement. You have a lot of culpability here because you have allowed this to happen. The only issue will be if you have a signed lease. You will have to eat the cost. If he's like this at 28, then that's going to be his life. Don't drown with him. Go live with your dad and leave this crazy mess. No explanation needed. Just go. High-risk twin pregnancy and partner calling me lazy. 30F and 39M. Hi everyone, I really need some support and advice because I'm honestly struggling emotionally and physically right now. I'm 30F, currently pregnant with twins, and it's classified as a high-risk pregnancy. I have endometriosis, PCOS, a heart condition and a short cervix, which increases my risk of preterm labor. My doctor has recommended bed rest, especially because my first trimester was brutal. I was constantly sick, exhausted, and barely able to function most days. Despite this, my partner 39M keeps telling me I'm being lazy and is pressuring me to work. He's also currently using steroids like Tren, which I believe are affecting his mood and behavior. He's become more irritable, snappy, and emotionally detached, and I'm really feeling the effects of that. Today, I said something very simple and honest. How am I supposed to cook, clean, work, and look after 2 newborns? He got angry with me for even asking. Instead of supporting me or having a real conversation, he just acted like I was being unreasonable or dramatic. He's also told me that when the twins are born, he plans to sleep in a separate room because he's a driving instructor and needs uninterrupted sleep. I understand needing rest for work, but where does that leave me? I'll be recovering from birth and caring for 2 babies, potentially on my own at night, and also being told I am lazy for not being able to work while also looking after the house, and I'm terrified. I never thought I'd feel so unsupported during what's supposed to be one of the most life-changing times. I'm doing everything I can to grow these babies under very difficult health conditions, and I just wanted to feel like I had a teammate. Instead, I feel judged and abandoned. I wish everyone who wanted to get pregnant could have a flash forward of how their partner behaves when they're pregnant and use that info to judge if they definitely want to have a baby with that person. You need a safe and stress-free place for your high-risk pregnancy. Please consider staying with your parents or a family member for the time being. Protect your babies. Do you have any family close to you? I think you need to leave him if he can't understand that you have literally been told by a healthcare professional to rest. Can you go somewhere else? I'm serious. Is there anyone who could take you in for the rest of this, because dude is not safe. At this point I don't know how any woman trusts a man enough to make a baby, and my husband is actually a good person and partner. Seems like most are not, and the risk is so high. Go home to your family if you can. Your safety and the safety of your unborn children are the most important things right now. Bed rest means bed rest. Unless you work on a computer, remotely, you can't work. His steroid use is highly problematic. This won't get better after you give birth. It will get worse. If you aren't legally married, consider this a bullet dodge. He's not the man you thought he was.